So I'm gonna smoke a joint with you guys, and I'm gonna talk with you guys today. I'm gonna talk about my dating app horror stories, like anything involving dating apps, okay? Number one. So, I met this guy on this app called Highly. It's not really a popular dating app, but it stands for Hey, I Like You. So, I hit him up, and immediately he's asking to fuck. And he's like, oh, would you want to have a threesome with me and my male friend? And I was like, yeah. Then all of a sudden he's like, oh, he can't pick you up right now, but you can come to me. So I ended up going to his house. We had sex. Used a condom, obviously. And him and I started dating like within the same week or 2 weeks. And we dated for a little bit. And there was not really any signs of anything bad, but he is emotionally abusive, mentally abusive. He lies about his sexuality and his past. And he's just overall like a bad lover. Like, when I tried breaking up with him, he threatened to like off himself, and he ended up going to the hospital, like the loony bin, for that. And there's just been several times where like his sexuality like didn't make sense. Like, he was on gay dating apps, and not only he was on Grindr, he was on Bumble, Tinder, Tammy. He was on a black singles dating app, and he's white. Like, huh? And when we were dating, and he had all these apps downloaded, and I asked him like, "Hey, why do you have all these?" And he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Da, da, da. I'm just trying to make friends and sell weed." Like, no one goes on dating apps just to buy weed. Like, some people go on there to sell, but that's just a little weird. Another thing, he would always complain about having to spend $1 to take a bus to see me, but he would spend money on food and weed all he wanted. Like, it takes $1 out of your pocket to see me each way. Like, it's not that bad because he lives like straight down my street. So we didn't get to see each other that much, and he's just crazy. His family's crazy and dysfunctional. And like, when I broke up with him, all that shit happened. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill myself." He like cut himself and shit, and it was just so stressful. And like, I didn't want him ever. Like, it just happened. I regret that relationship so much. I broke up with him, thank God. We only did it for 4 months, but we tried to get back together like one or two other times, and it just didn't work. He kept stressing me out way too much. Like, he stressed me out so much, I would like wake up throughout the whole night like anxious. Like, my body would like jolt me awake, and I just fucking, be anxious because of him. He would stress me out so much I couldn't sleep peacefully. Like, I don't know if that's a thing, but that was a thing for me. He would stress the fuck out of me, man. Like, and I heard someone say he was talking to underage girls when he was like over 18. I just think that's very disturbing and weird. Okay, next horror story. Meet another guy on Bumble. We date. I found out he knows one of my friends, and apparently he tried to, touch her without her permission. And I asked him about it, and he's like, "Oh, I was drunk, and they were like shaking their ass and taking out their boobs. Like, that doesn't give you a free pass to touch a girl. A girl can literally be walking down the street naked, but that doesn't mean she wants to be touched by everybody." So, me and this guy date for 4 months, and it's okay. Then he starts only coming over really late at night. We do the deed, and then he goes home saying he has to work at 6 in the morning. And I'm just like, if you have to work, why still leave your house even just to see me for a little bit? I just thought that was a little weird because he was basically just using me for my body. And we ended up breaking up over some stupid drama within my family and friends. But yeah, he still was trying to hook up with me, and he still had like pictures that I sent him and shit. Okay, here's another one. I met another guy on Bumble. He lived like an hour away from me. We only dated for like a month, but yeah. He found my Snapchat from my bio on Bumble, texted me. We hang out, we date. He asked me to be his girlfriend. I'm basically like at his house for a week, and he lives an hour up north. So I'd be at his house. Then one day he starts like telling me he loves me for the first time, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for that." And then everything's going fine. Then we have a big fight. He calls me childish, he calls me annoying, he calls me woman, like, in a misogynistic way. I start crying. Then he takes me home, tells me to get my shit, that he's taking me home. I'm on my way home. Then all of a sudden he changes his mind like 30 minutes into the drive. And then he says he's going to turn around. He texts his dad saying he's going to turn around. And then his dad says that he doesn't want me coming back there that night. So I go home super sad because I literally feel like we almost broke up. Then him and I did not see, no, I didn't see him for 2 days. And the other day I saw him, he took me to the hospital because I was like having like a stomach issue and I ended up having gastritis. Then after that, he took me home. It was a Sunday. After that Sunday, I didn't see him for 2 weeks. We still would text and call and FaceTime. And then we were supposed to see each other like on this one Friday. Like the day we were supposed to see each other, he broke up with me. And he didn't even break up with me directly. Like he would go to work and he would always send me good morning text, always. And this day he didn't. So I was weird. I felt weird about it. I was suspicious. So I was texting him throughout the morning, no response. I called him throughout the morning, no response. He would also talk to me on his lunch break. And one time I had his location, so I saw he left work to go get lunch. Tried texting him, calling him, nothing. Then I saw him leaving work because he got off at the end of his shift, so I texted him, called him, nothing. Then when he gets home, he stopped sharing his location with me. So that's the one I knew something was up. So I texted him, called him. I'm like, hey, if you're gonna break up with me or ghost me, at least please let me know so I don't have to be confused and I can have closure. And then this is what he tells me. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't want to be in a relationship. I just want to be single. So I'm like, if you just wanted to be single, why even initiate a relationship with me in the first place? Like, that shit's weird and confusing and gives mixed signals. And I'm pretty sure there was another girl involved, but I don't know for sure. I never had any evidence. But yeah, that happened. I just blocked him because we had no contact. I tried contacting him, he wouldn't respond. Yeah, that happened. Okay, last one. This is my most recent relationship. If you know, you know. Not naming names, but met this guy on Plenty of Fish. His bio said, I'll ruin your life. Thought it was a joke. But yeah, we date for a month. I'm basically living at his house. I sleep over every night. I was only home at that whole month, like 2 or 3 days. I slept in my own bed only for like 3 days out of that whole month. So yeah, we date. Then we start having arguments about like sex, saying we don't have sex enough. He was getting mad at me because he thought I didn't have sex with him enough. And then he starts calling me manipulative and I'm emotionally unstable and all that shit. We would argue all the time and I'd cry. He'd apologize, but like it kept happening. Then one day I was like freaking out and I kept texting him, blowing up his phone. Then all of a sudden he says, we need to break up. And I'm like, why? And then he tells me, oh, I never truly had any feelings for you, Summer. I just liked the thought and the idea of you. So I'm like, so you lied about your feelings and led me on, basically. And he's just like, oh, no, I did like you at one point, but then I realized, like, what the fuck did you realize? And he was still in love with his ex. So I don't fucking understand that shit either. Like, I would rather it just be him still liking his ex than the fact that he told me he never liked me. Like, he called me his girlfriend, he told me he liked me, we went on dates, we had a whole Valentine's Day date together. So I'm just very confused and hurt why he had to end it like that. Like, if he just wanted to be casual, he should have just said that from the beginning, you know? Like, that shit fucking hurts. Yeah, I haven't even been smoking this whole time, damn. And, like, he goes through phases of blocking me, unblocking me, calling me a no caller ID, I call him a no caller ID. Like, I was just on the phone with him. But nah, he's toxic. Like, he's a Scorpio. Not that that has anything to do with it, but he's just very narcissistic and mentally and verbally abusive. Like, he yells a lot, and he would always force me to smoke cigarettes. Like, I used to smoke cigarettes. I just vape now. Like, I started vaping before I started smoking cigarettes and Grabba. But, like, I don't smoke Grabba anymore. I just hit the disposable vapes like these. That's all that I do. I don't want any tobacco in my body. The only tobacco I use is like a blunt wrap, like a Dutch Swisher backwood. That's all that I use. But he was always be like, oh, you want a cigarette? You want one. Like, no, how are you gonna tell me what I want? The fuck? I hate these guys on dating apps. And like, I'm gonna tell you guys some failed ones too. Like, this one dude from POF, hang out with him. He's 5'1". I'm 5'1". So I end up getting Burger King for my family, and I start eating it. Then afterwards, he's like, "Oh, not to be rude or anything, but you should hit the gym. It's okay to eat fast food, but not all the time." It's my first time meeting this guy. I eat one meal in front of him, and it's Burger King. And he wants to assume that I don't work out ever. I don't go on walks. I don't do anything to try to exercise and stay healthy and lose weight. and I don't eat Burger King every day. Like, he was assuming. But he literally said, oh, I'm gonna get Chick-fil-A. Like, I'm not gonna take no criticism from a man who's the same fucking height as me. Like, get the fuck out of here. Another time, I was supposed to meet this guy. He pulled up to my house, saw me. He's like, oh, I have to do a U-turn. When you don't even have to do a U-turn, you can just back up into my driveway. And then he just drove off and blocked me and stopped sharing his location. So I'm like, maybe he saw me, thought I was ugly, or didn't like how my body looked or some shit. And then never heard from him again. Another guy, I don't remember where I met him, probably Instagram. But yeah, we hooked up, then he blocked me 2 days later. I don't know why. He never said anything about it. We were supposed to hang out the next day at his house. And then that shit happened. Another guy, oh my god, this one was so bad. I met this guy on Highly. We hooked up. He didn't give me time to shower beforehand, and I literally said I just woke up. He just called me an Uber right away. I had no time to shower, so I probably wasn't the freshest. And then he talked shit about me to this girl I know, who was my friend, or at least I thought was my friend. And they're talking shit about me because I told him, like, hey, if you want to have sex with me, don't talk to my friends. And then he told her everything I said, starts making fun of me, saying I smelled and shit. And I'm like, you didn't give me any time to shower or get ready, so that's kind of his fault. And then he tries getting with her, but she literally has a whole boyfriend, so why is she on dating apps? And this bitch, she also made a fake Kylie account with photos of her and her name, and she gave my contact information to people. She was giving out my phone number to like 20 to 30 guys. So many people were texting me asking if my name was her name, and I'm like, no, I'm not that bitch. She was also leaking my nude photos in group chats. That shit made me so fucking mad because she was holding on to that shit for months. I did not send them to her. I don't know how she fucking found them. But that girl's a bitch. She did that shit years ago. I don't want to think of this video as me talking shit, but it's me sharing experiences. I just honestly hope none of the people I'm talking about in this video watch this video, because then I'm gonna get nervous because I hate confrontation. But yeah. Dating apps honestly suck. I wish I could meet people in real life, but I don't go anywhere. And I have social anxiety and I don't know how to talk to people. So I don't think it would work for me. It's not a good idea. Yeah, and then I've had guys on dating apps like offer me money for sex, and I'm like, no, that shit's weird. I'm not a fucking hooker or prostitute. Get the fuck out of my way. The one time, oh my god, this shit made me so mad. 2 years ago. Okay, I matched with this guy. I was talking to him for a little while, and I knew this girl in an open relationship who had a boyfriend. She matched with him. She matched with the guy I was talking to, and I matched with her boyfriend. I never did anything with her boyfriend. Keep that in mind. So I ended up sleeping with this guy I was talking to, and then like a few days later, he's like, "Oh, it was a mistake. It was really impulsive of us. It was too soon. We rushed into it." And then soon after that, he has sex with a girl in the open relationship, and they both keep it a secret from me. And I had to find out because I called him because we were supposed to hang out. I was like blowing up his phone. Then he finally answered me, and I heard her talking in the background. He's like, "Oh yeah, we had a sleepover." People only sleep over at each other's house when they're the opposite sex after they have sex. So I knew something was up and he didn't want to tell me. I asked him and he was like, "No, we didn't do it." Then he comes to my house and it slips out that he did. And he was like, "Oh, she forced herself on me to." This guy is like a lot taller than her, a lot heavier and stronger than her. How are you gonna say you couldn't push her off? Like, I wasn't there. I'm not saying anything, but like he was making it seem like he was forced to do it. But he also said to me, "Oh, I just had to take the opportunity to sleep with her." So, was it rape or did you just want it and felt guilty about it? Like, I'm not shaming nobody because there are fake rape cases, but he was just making it seem like she forced him into it. But he could have said no, and I told him, "Why didn't you say no?" He's like, "Oh, I had to take the opportunity." And I'm like, this girl, I've known her like for years. I used to be in Girl Scouts with her. And then she just did me so fucking dirty and did this shit. And her and her boyfriend ended up blocking me, my number and my Snapchat for no fucking reason. Like, I was the one who did something wrong when she fucked up that shit for me. And I've always wanted to confront that bitch, because she ruined our fucking friendship doing that. I hate when girls do that. Like, there's nothing wrong with being in an open relationship, but at least communicate with people if you know a girl's talking to the guy you're gonna sleep with. And especially if you know the girl. And someone was trying to say I'm hating on people in open relationships, saying like, oh, why does she need two guys and I don't have any? Like, she has a boyfriend already. She lives with her boyfriend. She says she loves her boyfriend. She's plenty of other partners. She could talk to any other guy. Why does she have to talk to the guy that I'm trying to date? It's not her boyfriend. I was talking to a different guy. Wasn't even trying to talk to her boyfriend. And she did all this fucking shit to me. I will never live it down, because that's like breaking girl code on a whole nother level. If she would have asked me or talked to me, that would have been different, but she didn't say shit to me. God damn it. But anyways, I'm gonna probably end this video and finish this joint by myself. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you want me to share more stories. I also want to do a psych ward horror story video. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on post notifications, like, comment, and share, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. See y'all on the flip side.